Hey guys, we're back. You might remember us from last time, but for those of you that forget, I'm Charles Buddy Custer, Executive Director and co-founder of the Humanity Preservation Foundation. And with me today, tonight, whenever you're watching this, I've got
Rhett Hackett. I'm the president and co-founder of the Humanity Preservation Foundation. And go ahead, tell them why we're together again.
Yeah, so we are obviously coming fresh off of the OTA Masquerade Ball, hence my beautiful masquerade mask. And although we had an amazing evening, we blew our funding targets out of the water, and we can't thank everyone enough that's participated in it. The Masquerade Ball is now finished, and we're moving on to what's entailed for the rest of the year here as we move into the final months of the year, and we start to think about what does 2021 look like as we get away from the wonderful 2020 that it has been this year. So Rhett and I just wanted to take some time. We got a lot of good feedback on the last video, heard that it was informative and it kind of helped you guys understand the difference between our events. And we wanted to take some time to talk through what's coming down the pipeline over the next coming months here. So Rhett, actually, if you jump up to the next slide.
Nice and smooth. Okay.
So what we got planned is the campaign Abuse Still Sucks. And some of you, most of you, maybe none of you have seen the Abuse Still Sucks campaign that's out there. And just wanted to sit down with Rhett and kind of talk about what exactly is the Abuse Still Sucks campaign and why are we so excited about it to roll it out this year. So Rhett, when you think about Abuse Still Sucks, what does it mean to you and why did HPF start this campaign?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that just exactly, not in the order that you just asked that. I'm going to start with why did we, or how did we come up with this? So, in all of our meetings, and we're talking about things that were happening as the whole COVID was unfolding and quarantine was going on. And I had just wrapped up a presentation with the University of Penn, doing it online for the very first time to first-year med students. And then that was when they were telling me how child abuse cases were down by 50% at Children's Hospital. And we knew very well that it wasn't because that they were ending. We knew it because there was nobody reporting it. And as we explored that and talked a little bit more, what we were learning is that there were individuals that were trapped in homes with people that are abusive, and we know that abuse is going to continue through all of that. And then as we moved a little bit further on and things started to open up again and people were allowed back out and restaurants opened, and the bottom line is that the abuse was still continuing, and it was still going to continue on no matter what, open, close, quarantine. And we knew that there was still going to be a ripple effect from the individuals that were abused from people that they were trapped in a home with. And through speaking it out, we figured that abuse still sucks, and no matter what, it still needs to be a focus. And here we are.
Yeah. So you said something there about folks being stuck inside. That's kind of resonated with me, and I don't know how many people realize it or think about that, is as we've been working from home, as we've been kind of derailed from our normal daily practices, and we're now staying in a place that's normally a safe place for us, there's a lot of people out there that home is actually not a safe place for them, right? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
It's 100%. And I think that's, I have to tell you, you bring up a really good point, because every single time I brought that up to people and I brought it to the surface and let them know, you have to understand, this is what the team at HPF is focusing on, and our friends at New Jersey Children's Alliance, because we were using some of their info material to put out there, that there are people that are trapped every day with abusive individuals. And on top of that, they're not going to, individuals that are living in an abusive home, their safe haven became the 8 hours that they would go to school. And somebody would see the abuse that was going on, it would be reported, and maybe they would get a break, or maybe something would happen, they would get some sort of a chance to heal or whatever. That all ended. And to me, that's really scary. And what is it like for a child that had an 8-hour escape and is at school, to being in a home 7 days a week with somebody that's abusive, or they're there watching their father beating up on their mother? I just can't even, somebody living that life every single day is just, it's horrific.
Yeah. So I guess whether you're stuck inside or whether you're out and about, regardless of how you shape it, or regardless of where you're at, I mean, technically abuse still sucks no matter where you are, is what I'm getting from this campaign.
Yeah, 100%. And if we can just kind of like go a little bit deeper in regards to this logo and the whole, the name of the campaign, Abuse Still Sucks. But really, we were trying to point out to individuals what to, and that's where the 3 R's came from, was the to recognize it, to report it, and then to reach out. And if you can do those 3 things and you suspect something's happening, you're going to make a difference in somebody's life.
That's awesome. That makes a lot of sense. So what do you have planned? What does HPF have in store with Abuse Still Sucks? So I know there was some stuff that rolled out earlier this year. We talked about it at the OTA Masquerade Ball. There's been little teasers here and there. What's the next step for Abuse Still Sucks?
Yeah. So, well, do you want to talk about, let's talk about the thing that we introduced out for the first time in public at the OTA, and that was the poster program.
Yeah.
Because it was something that we kind of kept under wraps. We didn't really announce it until we were there. So staying with that same look and feel, this is what the front of the poster will look like. And obviously we have our logo, we have the recognize, report, and the reach out. And we kind of expand a little bit on the definition of it, but more importantly, I just think that the bold look of this it's eye-catching. But when we talk about the poster program, what we're talking about is we're going to get this into high schools in New Jersey to start off with. And what the back of the poster will contain is information that defines the categories that we focus on in regards to high school level. So we have cyberbullying, we have teenage dating violence, we have sexual assault prevention, and then we have setting personal boundaries. And each one of them goes through an explanation and some educational material. And then there's some questions and some fill in the blank for individuals to complete. So the way that the poster program works is, obviously this would be the front and this would be the back. And this dotted line here will allow teachers that if they have students in school, they'll be able to Xerox these on 8.5 by 11 paper, so that everybody in the class would be able to get a copy of it, and they'd be able to read, they'd be able to do the exercises. And then HPF is also going to produce a digital version for those students that are doing online class. And this was written with state standards. It was written at a high school level. And we are super excited about it because we know that the key to prevention is through education. And this is something that has been on our plate, not since inception of HPF, but very early on. And it does come in part because of a grant that was issued to us from the Pandemic Relief Fund in the state of New Jersey. So, but that's this component, and we are hoping to get it rolled out in January. And if you're watching this and you're a high school teacher in the state of New Jersey, please reach out to us. If you want this, we will make arrangements to get it to you, and it's at no cost to the school. That's that's something to really emphasize. So
Yeah. Yeah. There's kind of a lot going on with this, but at the end of the day, the message is pretty simple and straightforward. As you can see, abuse still sucks. And the way that we are approaching it by going into a high school level is we're hoping to educate students at an age where they are receptive to this kind of information, and they are potentially future leaders, or they're developing into, young contributing members of society. They're able to recognize this, report, reach out, and ideally make a difference in the world. And that's kind of why we started HPF, was for the prevention of abuse. And
yeah,
the way we wanted to do that, as Rhett mentioned, was through educational programs. And this is a big monumental step for us, because it's one of the largest education programs that we're going to be able to roll out. And as Rhett mentioned, we're already starting the conversations with the local school districts to get this program in there. So there's a lot of possibilities with this. And if you're interested in participating in the program, please reach out. We'll have our emails available for you at the end of the video.
yeah. And we'll make it happen. If somebody's looking for it, like we'll definitely make it happen. And just to point out, I know we don't want to go real long with this video, but we want to, I think the boundary setting side of this is so important. As they exit out of high school, go into college, they're going to be on their own. And we know that on campus sexual assaults really it's very prevalent. And the best way is to teach kids how to set boundaries and what to do. So that's really why this is at the core of everything we believe in regards to education to prevent it. So that's this. I'm going to set that down, and then let's talk about the next item. I'll let you talk about this one.
Yeah, and I think just we can really quickly talk on it, because we've kind of highlighted on most of the important parts about the Abuse Still Sucks campaign and kind of how it came to fruition here. But there are some immediate next steps over the coming months here, because there still is a need for funding to get this into the appropriate schools. As Rhett mentioned, it's at no cost for the schools to participate in this program, but there is a cost to us as an organization. And so to kind of help support us being able to fund this program, we do have a few different fundraisers coming up that are directly tied to the Abuse Still Sucks campaign. And the most immediate one is actually, we have an upcoming Abuse Still Sucks virtual 5K. The race will go live on November 1st. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the virtual 5K platform, essentially you can go online, you could scan the QR code. You could probably actually scan the QR code on this video.
I was actually going to try that as we were talking, and keep going.
That's the magic.
But yes, you can.
That's the magic
right on the video.
Magic of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. If you scan that QR code, or if you type in the URL, it'll take you to the race sign up page, and then you can run the 5K at your leisure. We purposefully did it between November 1st and Giving Tuesday, because we wanted this to tie to our Giving Tuesday efforts as well. If you're not familiar with Giving Tuesday, I suggest you kind of do some research. It is the largest fundraising day on an international scale, and it falls right after Thanksgiving holiday. And what better way to run off of the turkey dinner and the extra stuffing that you probably didn't need, but just looks so good and you couldn't stay away from those mashed potatoes. You can use the virtual 5K to kind of run off those extra pounds, as well as supporting the Abuse Still Sucks campaign. Good.
I wanted to just add on that too. So if somebody's talking about doing a turkey run on Thanksgiving morning, as many people do, you can suggest that you participate in this, and have different family members kind of do the race, and when you all gather at the table, you can compare who ran it best, and that's who gets the drumstick.
Exactly. That was a good one.
Ready?
Ready. So there's obviously some great stuff going on with Abuse Still Sucks. It's a campaign that we are excited and passionate about at HPF. In addition to the races, we've started to put together some merchandise as well that'll be available for purchase. You could get yourself a nice towel that dual purposes as a mask. And we've got some drinking tumblers that have got nice little speakers on them as well. Thanks to one of our volunteers, Brooke, for putting all this stuff together. There really is a lot of excitement behind the campaign, and to be able to get our foot in the door of high schools and get this campaign in front of students as well is it's a big step for us, and we hope that you guys are as excited about it as we are. I don't know.
Yeah, and I just want to emphasize too that this is really the first time that we are doing merch for a campaign that is HPF driven. And I there's something to be said about that in regards to the importance of, you know, why this particular campaign and how, you know, we intend to carry it through 2021 as we expand upon it. I mean, this is just kind of like the first level steps. And, you know, we rolled out the first part of it over the summertime. It was well received as kind of a test. And then the interest at the OTA on the poster program and then the merchandise was phenomenal. So I'm super excited and I can't wait to, like, you know, I don't know. There's just something about educating, as you know, is one of the biggest things. So
Couldn't agree more. Well, thanks everyone for taking the time. Hopefully this one wasn't as long as the first video, but that it was informative and that you guys kind of understand where we're coming from with Abuse Still Sucks. And we want to get it out there and get the messaging out there, and tell your friends, tell your family that you kind of understand what abuse still sucks and why it still sucks, and buy some merchandise so you can wear it in front of them as well. All right.
that's it.
Thanks everyone. Have a good night, day.
From our orange heart to yours.
Adios.